Here are my top 10 pieces of medical equipment that I carry with me every time I go on any kind of hike, and they all fit inside this little bag. We've got a compression bandage. Now this is super helpful in emergencies. You can see that it's air sealed, it's vacuum sealed, so nothing is gonna get, no contaminants are gonna get in there. It's gonna stay sterile inside. This right here is for snake bites or for bleeding situations where you need to get some good compression on there quick. You can also use this as a makeshift brace if you sprain an ankle or hurt your wrist. Very important to have something like this in your first aid kit. Next, I have a couple of these zeolite hemostatic gauze pads. These will help clot wounds. You can use them as field dressing. This in combination with that compression bandage can pretty much take care of any rapid bleeding situation to get you out of an emergency situation. Now, if all else fails, I also have this. This is a basic elastic bandage. This is good for just compressing a sprain or a strain, or even wrapping a wound with that zeolite hemostatic gauze. So you can see most of this kit is set around big emergencies. I also have a couple of these. These are zip wound enclosures. Very important to have if you have a laceration or a very deep cut. You can put this on there, tighten it up, get it nice and compressed, then put the zeolite hemostatic gauze, then put the elastic bandage or compression bandage just in case something major happens while you're out in the backcountry. Then we have this. This is a space blanket. Not only is this great for hypothermic situations, but also it's really common to go into shock in a medical situation or an emergency. Now, you wouldn't think you'd need this in the summertime because, you know, it's like 90 degrees in the day. But at night, temperature swings can bring you down into the 60s, sometimes even the 50s or 40s in the mountains. And if you get wet, if your body starts going into shock because of a medical emergency, hypothermia can set in very quickly. Next, I have some disinfecting and cleaning prep pads. So these are alcohol prep pads. These are antiseptic wipes. All of this is helpful if you've got to treat wounds or clean the area that a wound has been, you can flush it out with water and then clean it up with this. In addition to that, I'll also carry nitrile gloves. I don't want to transmit disease. I don't want to transmit infection. So have a nice pair of gloves. Let's be honest, being out camping or backpacking or hiking, we're not always the most sanitary. Hands can get dirty if we're messing with a campfire or just by hiking and sweating. So having something to help prevent the transmission of infection. I also have this first aid guide. My memory is only so good. If I can have a resource that I can quickly reference, if I can take notes, just in case something happens and I have to relay information to medical professionals, this is a lifesaver in and of itself. I'm not going to remember everything that I learned in first aid training, but this book never forgets. This is kind of a bigger one. Everything up to this point has been more for emergency situations. Let's face it, not everything is going to be a major medical emergency. Sometimes you just need a bandage, something to cover up a little scrape or a cut. That's where this comes in. This is a whole bunch of different shaped bandages for different fingers or knuckles or pretty much anything, and all very useful in a nice, easy to carry pouch. Also has a little finger cots, just in case you're working around water or cleaning, and also kind of smaller zip wound closures, not nearly as extensive and big as these guys. Number 10 on that list is a pair of metal tweezers. I totally forgot to mention these while I was out in the field. They were in the kit, I just didn't see them. Black tweezers. But yeah, a good pair of metal tweezers, invaluable in your survival kit and in your first aid kit. Great for removing ticks, splinters, maybe getting something out of somebody's eye if they've got something in there. Just cannot go wrong with a good pair of tweezers. Helpful in so many different situations. So those are my 10 pieces of equipment that I carry with me every time I'm out hiking, camping. If you want to model your kit after mine, everything I purchased through SurviveX, my medical professionals of choice.